Hello, JD. Welcome to the Expatty Podcast.
Thank you.
So glad you're here with me today.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I wanted to do today's podcast on an opportunity that I think most young people need to look into. It is a phenomenal opportunity because this was always my biggest pet peeve, so to speak, because underserved youth usually don't have the money to afford travel experiences. And part of what we do at Lifesmart is to give these experiences, but there's actually an organization out there that is actually doing that. And this is Jay-Z's Shawn Carter Foundation. And when I saw this article, I was so excited to see something like this because it is so important. And I can only imagine that Jay-Z, through his own travel experiences from, doing concerts all around the world, has seen the importance of travel. And so this is something close to him. And I believe it's his mother who is also helping him with this, run this foundation to support youth to actually get money or scholarships to travel abroad and to have that global experience. And so their mission is of the Shawn Carter Foundation is to help individuals facing socioeconomic hardships further their education at post-secondary institutions. And so in addition to traveling, they also assist with other things that are local in terms of college preparation and travel tours and things like that. But the wonderful thing is that they are offering a scholarship now. And this scholarship fund is in the belief that motivated individuals in need should have the opportunity to further his or her education by removing these financial burdens that go along with it. And one of them is to study abroad. And I think that most companies, this is my personal opinion, I'm not sure if this is how it really is, but from what I've seen, a lot of times scholarships are not to help you travel, because a lot of times they feel like travel is a luxury. So what they have is a study abroad and career exposure. Okay, so this program is designed as with the University of Arts London College of Communication. The aim is to increase the future employment prospects of underserved students by exposing them to cross-cultural academic experiential and professional development experience in creative industries. And so, of course, you'd have to be a part of this program to have that, which is a start. But I think they are increasing their exposure to those who want to study abroad. Here's a young lady named Brittany Hardy who studied in Athens, Greece. Princeton University. Awesome. And so you can go through and visit this website, Shawn Carter's Foundation, and you can look and see other students that are having this experience with traveling abroad to learn. Is so important because these are students who are going to be prepared for the world of globalization in terms of having access to opportunities that have taken them outside their normal everyday exposure to life. And so it broadens your mind to see the world differently. It widens your mindset to think globally. And this is part of why education and travel need to be considered of high priority. We are so cross-culturally interconnected with the internet now, but yet most students don't have the opportunity to actually experience things outside of what they see and know every day. And so their mindset is very limited. Yeah, of course you can click a button, you can see things, but those real experiences abroad are going to help you in a way that is really unexplainable. And I know for you, JD, you have lived in Germany as I have. Now, you were a military brat. And so can you pinpoint or maybe talk about your experiences abroad when you were younger and how that may have changed your view of the world as you see it now when you look back on those experiences?
Well, I mean, because I was so young, I couldn't appreciate it the way I could have appreciated it if it had happened to me if I was older. So there's a lot of deficiencies in that regards. But I mean, I can appreciate having been there. I can appreciate the fact that I had the opportunity to be there, to see a different culture, experience a different kind of lifestyle. I mean, being a military brat, you're surrounded by you're all surrounded by your own culture. Everybody hangs out with the military families, go to American schools, you go to American establishments. So you're not really submerged in the German culture. It's all around you. You're like engulfed in it, but you're not like submerged, which is a shame. You have to like really make the effort to go out there.
Yeah.
To submerge yourself into the culture. I wish, but being so young, you're so like, oh, I'm having fun with my friends, and you're comfortable in your little zone, you know. So I think it's important for anybody who's a military brat or whatever. I think the most important thing is if you do go with your family, make the effort or ask or inquire about being exposed more to the culture that you're surrounded by.
Because you can do that, right? You can just leave the base and go. And
I mean, we lived in a German neighborhood. We lived right smack dab in the middle of a German neighborhood.
Oh, okay. But when you say you were surrounded by things of American culture, so like the food you bought, did you go to a special grocery store for that?
Yeah, it's a military grocery. It's called the PX, or the commissary. The commissary.
Oh, okay. Oh.
The PX was our version of Target.
Okay. So you have like those things that you could get in any store in America.
Anything you could buy, same foods, same items at the store. You could buy anything that you would buy here. I mean, we had American television, but American television didn't sign on until 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, really? So you could only have that later in the day.
A window.
Okay, it might be different now because you're a little bit up in age, so that was a while ago, right?
Yeah, when I was there.
Different.
We had one military radio station. We had so it was really, but that's your opportunity. Anybody go out there, if you're limited in what you can do, expand your mind. I encourage anybody to expand your mind.
Right.
Get out of your comfort zone. Go out there and explore. That's how you learn. That's how these teenagers or these seniors in high school, they take the gap year and they go backpack across Europe for 6 months. It's super important that you understand. Like you were saying, we're in a global economy now. This is a global citizenship. It's not just in your backyard. The thing that hurts America or Americans is that because our country is secluded from everything else. We're our own little ecopod. But we do have, it's very culturally diverse in America, but only to a limited degree. You know, people in Europe, the countries are very close together. They're super close. So you may go to Belgium or Germany or France or Italy or Spain or Norway and you hop on the speed train and you're there or whatever you need to do. It's very, all the countries are easily accessible. So
it's very convenient.
It's very convenient to go 9-10-hour flights, 14-16-hour flights that we have to do. It's much more involved. It's not so easy. So if you're anywhere, if you're anywhere in any other country, make sure you make the effort to go out and explore. I wish I had done that.
Yeah.
But being so young, you don't think on those terms.
You don't think that way. And that's why I'm just looking at this. So when I saw this with this news article with Jay-Z and the scholarship fund, I just thought, man, that is so amazing because even they see how important travel is. Um,
Yeah.
I absolutely think that we need to bring more importance to it in the schools, right? Because a lot of times, like I said, they think it's a luxury. Oh, you want to go travel, you want to go on vacation, and you want me to pay
Right.
for it?
Right.
No, travel is so much more than a
But
vacation.
see,
It's learning.
that exactly. But that transcends. Well, that's the whole socioeconomic divide.
Mm-hmm.
Families, people from affluent families, that's normal.
That's
You're
normal,
gonna go to
right?
college. You're gonna travel. We're gonna go here, or they do it during their life, the life of their, you
Uh,
grow up in this kind of environment where we travel all the time, or we see other countries, or I'm
mm.
going to send you to this other country for 6 months to have an experience, or
They don't have to
the
think
kids.
about the money, right?
No, they don't. But in kids in the urban areas, they don't have that. That mindset is not there.
And the parents can afford it. They definitely don't
Well,
see the importance of it because they realize well, maybe they do see the importance of it. I can't say that, but they just know they don't have access to that. So it's not, it's kind of pushed to the back burner. Like, I got to pay the bills. I got, I ain't, you
right,
want to go where? No, you got to stay here and work.
right.
You know what I'm
But see,
saying?
if you do, you can find the opportunity. You have to look for them.
Yeah.
We have to
Yeah.
change the mindset of the urban communities to know that where there's a will, there's a way. You can find those opportunities if you just look for them. The opportunities are online. You can learn things online. You can
Mm-hmm.
search and find the opportunities. Everything's at your fingertips. I think we're not in the mindset that it might be harder for you to get there, but you
Mm-hmm.
can get there.
You
You
can
just
do
have to
it.
want.
And I
Let's go on.
Well, I was going to say, because you raise an interesting point, they're not in that mindset because the schools are not talking to them about it, right? They're
But this
schools,
starts at home. This starts at home. We can't
yeah.
expect our schools to teach the kids everything. We can't expect our schools to be on point with every subject on the planet in regards to our children.
But the school is a good outlet because what if you come from a dysfunctional home environment? What if you're not you're like maybe a first generation college student or
Right.
like sometimes the kids don't even come from environments where it's even healthy for
Right.
them as a child, let
Right.
alone have them be taught the importance of travel, or that mindset. So that is true. You're right. But at some point, the schools do need to have programs in place, and some after school programs, and some
Mm-hmm.
schools they maybe take a trip every year, but it's not interwoven into the curriculum. It's like,
No.
oh, let's go take this trip and let's go do
Mm-hmm.
something fun and maybe we'll
Right.
learn something, but it's not interwoven. Like what you said earlier, you said it needs to run tandem with traditional academics. When we're talking about travel, it needs to run tandem. Global education needs to run tandem with traditional academics because
Right.
it's all together. We need to be learning about things in schools, and then we need to
Mm-hmm.
get out and experience them for a well-rounded global educational experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So what needs to happen is the schools need to have like a after the traditional academic learning during the school day. The after
Mm-hmm.
school programs need to offer. There should be a component of all these life skills and travel abroad opportunities. There should be
Mm-hmm.
like this. There needs to be a whole like a whole nother kind of what do you call it? Not component, because components, it would be more of a whole kind of a structured learning experience for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's say what can someone do? What can a student who is maybe watching this podcast or hears about it and wants to travel, what do they do? Like, okay, let's say you don't get it from home, you don't hear about it at school, but you're listening to Expatty podcast, right? You're like, I
Right.
want to do that. I want to travel. Well, let's look at this Jay-Z found scholarship opportunity. I would hit them up because it looks like this is a scholarship that is expanding to different schools. And the thing is, the one thing that I used to always do when I would see something, I don't know why I was like this, but if I saw something that Oh, well, that's not for me, or they're not doing it at the school I want to go to. Well, let's give them a call and see how they can. Like, make an offer. There's no
Right.
link that says make an offer to where you want to go to school and what you want to do to get a scholarship. Like, really take these opportunities as a way to make them fit for you, and however you can, because where there's a will, there's a way. A lot of
Well,
times.
we need to foster that kind of mindset.
Mhm.
We haven't fostered that kind of mindset in our communities, and we haven't fostered in our schools. So if you don't know something, or you don't know, if you're ignorant about it,
Mhm.
you don't know how to, you don't know what avenues you have to go,
Okay.
to navigate
Mhm.
to get to the information you want.
Yeah.
It just is not on our front burners of our minds. It's just
No.
not. It's not even on the radar for a lot of kids. It's not even on the
Exactly.
radar.
It's like that's the work that we're doing, is like trying to get kids on the radar for this. And that is so key what you just said. And so that brings me to the point of what Lifesmart Education does. We want to engage more kids with international experiences. And so we're looking for always donors. I mean, it costs money to
Right.
travel, and if there's an organization like what we do that's willing to educate and work with professional travel organizations that specialize in education abroad, hey, hit us up, make a donation. Kids interested, hey, hit us up, let us know you're interested. A lot of
Right.
times what I want to do is I want to get kids that are in our programs for our local skills, because like what we talked about earlier today, what was it, we want to work on ourselves here at home locally so that we can present ourselves to the world. So working on those local skills and
Right.
getting us ready and prepared to be globally ready in that
Right.
certain kind of mindset. And so the work we're doing is so important. I really wish that we could get people that want to make an impact in travel education for youth to really look closely at the work that Lifesmart Education is doing to help make that happen. Less than
Right.
4% of minority kids travel abroad. There's a big disparity in the exposure to international education that our young minority kids are getting, and it needs to change. And
Yeah.
because we offer a unique dynamic when we go abroad, right? Like,
Yes.
it's definitely different when we're abroad, and we can bring our uniqueness, our style, our swag, who we are
Right.
to foreign countries.
Our
And
uniqueness.
our uniqueness. And it's a very good culturally for that to happen.
I think a
Um,
lot of people, we need to make people a little bit more comfortable. I think people need to be made more comfortable about traveling abroad. I think there's a level of uncomfortableness.
mhm.
Like, what do I do? How do I do this? I don't know the language,
Right, right.
I don't know the customs, because you really got to know that before you go to someone's country. Know the customs, know what to do. Get a book,
Right. Well, or you know
go
what? That's the thing.
research.
Hey, be a part of some of our programs, and we're trying to make this so that we can even do it online. And did you know that in Malaysia, I think, if you like, you can't chew gum or something, because if you pollute the sidewalks with gum,
Mm-hmm.
you can go to jail for that. And I'm
Right.
sure there are Americans that have gone to jail, or anyone foreign
Right.
that's been over there has gone to jail because they're ignorant to what the customs are.
Right.
You
You
know?
cannot.
Don't go over there acting there like a crazy American, because it ain't the land of the free in a lot of places, right? It's completely different.
Exactly. Yes, you'll get caught and get locked up and not understand why.
Yeah.
Don't go to someone else's country with that entitlement kind of
Yeah.
mindset.
Ooh, that's what it taught me. I humbled myself big time when I went abroad, because I had that arrogance about I'm an American.
Uh huh.
Okay. And
Did you?
oh, yes, I did. And it was embarrassing. Some things
Were you
that
throwing your gum on the ground?
yeah,
What happened to
you
you?
don't want to know.
Give us
Oh,
one.
so
Give us one
bad.
example. What did you do? We need one example. See, this is
Okay,
a
well,
learning
one
experience. So
thing.
give us one.
Well, here's one
You
thing. It's
can.
pretty embarrassing, but I'll say it anyway. I was in England, Trafalgar Square area. I was visiting in the local area there. And of
Okay.
course, I'd had to go to the loo. I had to go to the restroom. And like in America, we can just pop into any place usually, and use
Yeah,
their, restroom. Well, I went in
correct.
there and obviously they saw me coming. And I said, "May I use your restroom?" I don't know if I said loo. I was accustomed to the way they spoke at that time. I'm not sure. But they were like, "No."
Right.
Well, like, are you a customer? I was like, no, but I got to go. No, but I got to go.
Right.
And they said,
Right.
no. The audacity of
Ooh.
turning me down. I am visiting your country. And
Right.
and I don't know. I mean, this was me young and just like, I just do what I want to do. I'm like, and I said out loud in my little attitude kind of way, "Well, I am an American." Why would you do that to me? Like this entitlement.
Oh.
And the people in there was like, "Well, go on back. Go." I was like,
Did
oh,
they say that to you?
yes, they did. Daryl, I was so
See.
embarrassed. But I had that mindset that we're
Yeah.
always talking about
Okay.
America is the greatest country in the world. Like, and so you go over there, like, and they're like, "Well, no, we live in a great country too. Get out, lady."
Right.
I
Right.
was
Who are
young. I was in
you?
my early 20s, and it taught me a big lesson about, it
Hmm.
humbled me greatly. And I'm glad for that experience,
Good.
you know?
Yeah. See. So that's why people, we all, our youth needs, they need to travel as much as possible because they don't
Mhm.
know.
Because
Everyone's
they're
in.
traveling. The kids that come from other countries, it's very important for them to see America and to have these
Right.
experiences. And they know
They
a lot about
do.
America.
We have a lot of tourists. There's a lot
Mhm.
of tourism that goes on in America that we see all these people coming over and experiencing our culture. I mean, you can't really get that experience from the television or the internet. You have to go see it, and I think it's
Mhm.
important
Yeah,
that
yeah. And
we
so
all of us, not just the youth, all of us, everyone,
everyone needs to have
but
that
but more
experience. And
but
people
more
need to
importantly, the
donate.
youth.
Because a lot of times we apply for scholarships or like loan or donations. I mean, not donations. What am I thinking? We apply for grants, and
Hmm.
there's always like, "What we do not fund, travel."
Right,
Like I see that
right.
all the time. It's like,
Oh, you
it's,
do?
yeah. So they'll be like, they'll support education, but your education can't be travel related.
And
It,
see that this is our infrastructure of Americans who don't travel.
yep.
This is the infrastructure. Can you imagine if you go to Europe or another country to where their what do you call them? The organizations that the grantors
Yep. Mm-hmm.
would have those components implemented into their grants so that youth can travel
To do the
abroad
same kind of learning.
because they understand the importance of global
Yep.
exposure.
Mm-hmm. And
So
they
we
would.
don't understand that we're homogenized and we're in our own little ecopod. American has everything. You can go because there are so many cultures here in America. We are exposed to different cultures to a certain degree, but not
Mhm.
at the level that is important for us to really understand in which direction our world is going
Yeah. Yeah.
and how we need to learn how to interact with other cultures.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
other
just, yeah.
we think it's cool. Oh, we see this. People come from, oh, they're cool and they have the accent, or
Hmm.
it's a novelty
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
when it needs to be, instead of a novelty, it needs to be just, what do you call it, a regular thing. It needs to be standard, the
Yeah.
standard way of thinking.
Hmm.
This is what
Yeah.
we do. This is how we go. We're going to travel. And like I said, the affluent people from affluent families, that's their norm.
That's their norm.
So
Yeah.
we need to bring that to the underserved, the at
Yeah.
risk, the
Absolutely.
socioeconomically challenged parts of our country and our neighborhoods that need that.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And so that's why we got to keep doing what we do. And people, I salute and applaud Jay-Z and his foundation for what
Right.
they're doing. He sees it, they get it, and it needs to be more relevant and out there so that, students know about these kinds of things. And I'm hoping that this really starts to expand the number of students who take advantage of his scholarship fund for that. So I wanted to just ask you quickly. So, like, you've done a lot of traveling. Um, what would you say is your bucket list? Like, what would you like to eventually do? Because, hey, we're not in the ground dead yet, right? We want to
No,
still get
yeah.
out and travel.
Right. Still gotta travel.
But we're getting
Right.
there, right? But,
Right.
like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's a pretty extensive list. Tahiti, just before the. I love French. I love the language. I love the culture of French, and it's French Polynesia.
Mm, okay, you got it down to the details,
It's
huh?
territory.
Yeah.
So, and I love the. I'm not really a tropical person per se, but it's beautiful. I love the
Mm-hmm.
whole South Pacific kind of vibe, and it's just so
Mm-hmm.
relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Paris, because just everyone should see Paris.
Yes, they should. I actually been to Paris and visited Princess Diana's place of where she died.
Really?
I mean, can you believe that? Think about this. I have been such a Princess Diana loyalist, like fan. So I was living in England when she died. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was able to go to visit where she actually died in that tunnel. And that was just meant so much to me because I just never thought I would be in a country that where I got to experience. I mean, it is history. It's historic. I mean, like what happened to her over in Paris is pretty bad, and
Mm-hmm.
having that experience to see where she died was for me. It was it was sad, but it was also
Pretty profound for you.
pretty profound. Yeah. So I think that would be nice to go to Paris and visit there.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
love the language. I love the
And the
culture.
language.
That's my favorite language of all
Yeah.
of the languages.
Comment allez-vous?
Um,
Comment allez-vous?
Comment allez, bien, merci.
Yeah.
Bien, merci. Et vous?
Bien, bien. Grazie. No, not grazie. Oh my God. That's.
Ooh, you just went to the whole other country. That's Italy.
I went to Italy.
I want to get on your speedy train. She went all the way. She transporter. Transport to another country. Oh, that was really good.
Oh my goodness. So, Patricia, that is a
So
beautiful language. But yeah, so that would be great. And then you mentioned something about the Northern Lights. You said you wanted to see.
Norway, the Northern Lights, Switzerland is absolutely
Oh,
stunning.
I've been to Switzerland. The mountains
Have you?
are, they will literally have you drop to your knees. They're so big. You're like, oh my gosh, this mountain is so
Matterhorn.
big. Like you feel so small. Like you get up there, you'll see those mountains, and it is mind blowing to
Mm-hmm.
see. And they're so close. Like you'll
Yes.
be on the freeway, and the
Yeah.
mountain is like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can reach out and touch the mountain.
Right.
And it just
And
goes up for days. It's crazy. I'll never forget that experience I had seeing the mountains in Switzerland.
and the villages that lay nestled right in between the mountains.
Yeah,
Those little villages you see, and the
yeah,
mountains are right there, and the waterfalls.
yeah.
Uh,
It just puts you
yeah,
somewhere, doesn't it?
yeah. So
So,
everybody, I mean, just all of Europe, Africa, like you were
oh,
saying.
Africa. Yeah, absolutely. I want to go to Africa. Now, I don't want to find myself running from a lion. I'm gonna get
Right,
there right now because
right,
I did see it happen. I'm not just saying that. There were
right.
some people on a road on a motorbike, and
Yeah.
like some kind of, and the tiger just came out from nowhere,
Well, you got to know
and
where
they
you.
were and had it on video. JD, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, I don't want that kind of experience.
You
Okay,
don't.
I want to be in a bus with some
What?
protective gear. And did you see there were some people? The lion came up on the bus, like
Did
there
it?
was.
They left the door open. Why was the
No,
door open?
yeah, and the lion came in, and it was just like, no, see, that's too up close and personal. See, I don't want no experience like that. I want to come back to America
Right.
for my trip abroad, okay? And be fully conscious and aware to where I can talk about my experience. See,
You don't want to be. You don't want to be traumatized.
I don't want to be traumatized. I want to have a good experience and come back to live to talk about it, okay?
You don't want to have to go to therapy when you get back.
I know, I don't want to have to go into therapy because I already need that now.
And the lion came on the bus, and I didn't know what to do. And the lion came on the bus, and I was just, oh my god.
Because that stuff happened. I'll be like, people, are you crazy? What?
Did they let them on the bus, or did they just?
Yeah, it was like this enclosure where this lion was. You know what? We're going to talk about that story. Catch the next Patty podcast. We're going to talk about it.
Right.
Because that was an experience. So we're looking to find anyone who wants to be a guest on the Patty podcast. So if you want to talk about your experiences abroad, if you have words of wisdom, things you want to share, like we spoke to my friend Erica about her experiences in China. If you would like to talk to us about your experiences living abroad, maybe why you think travel is important, you want to share some things about your life abroad, reach out to us, be a guest on our show, and subscribe. I want to really expand this podcast to be all encompassing about travel and offer resources. I'm going to be compiling a list that you can download that's going to show different places where you can actually go live abroad and get certain kinds of jobs, and that is going to be very resourceful. We're going to be a very resourceful place for people that have that travel on the mind,
right?
Education to working to vacationing, just peeking into the life of someone who may have lived in a foreign country and just seeing what that life is like. Remember to visit my Facebook page, Patricia McBride in China. I'm always still uploading videos from when I was in China several years ago. I just recently uploaded a video about my students that I used to greet in the mornings. They're so cute, and just those experiences you can have if you visit my Facebook page. And so, JD, was there anything else you wanted to say? Any insights or things about travel?
Just make sure you make it a priority at some point. If you do it for your children, do it for your children, do it for yourself. Yeah. It's super important that we just have the people, and if you're afraid to fly, get over it. Get a Xanax.
Right. Exactly. Go get help. Make that a priority, and then your travel experience. I had a friend who was afraid to fly.
Yeah.
She actually went to a psychologist, and then she was able to fly out to my wedding because she lives in Germany, and she actually was able to overcome her fear of flying from being in this fair. And she was able to come visit and have that experience with us in Florida when we got married. So yeah.
That's good, because there are a lot of people who won't. It's not a natural thing. I have my issues with flying, but going and doing what I want to do and experiencing those things, it's important. We got to prioritize a lot, and so let's donate. Let's
donate. Lifesmarteducation.org.
So we can help these underserved youth who don't have the resources or the opportunities. We can help them travel.
Absolutely, and we educate them. Before we go, we give them all the things that they need to know. We have volunteer opportunities where they can volunteer abroad, wherever we end up traveling to. And we're looking to do our first trip to Japan. We've been talking about it forever. We're getting closer. It's just not very easy unless you've got the money to do it. And we really need that support, financial support. And we're just talking about it. We're going to make it happen. And I thank you so much for being with me this week on the Patty podcast. I'm sorry I'm no longer in LA with you, but hey, we can still do it through these internet exchanges.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for having me, and it was good to be here.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And remember, subscribe to the Patty podcast. Catch you next time. Peace.
See ya.